on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also brought to you in part by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com or your local Ford dealer and score a Ford SUV today. Coke Zero Sugar and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover alongside our producer and engineer Tom Stipe, and we're glad to welcome you to Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. It's good to see everyone on this Monday night as we talk about some wins for the Crimson Tide over the weekend. Men's basketball took a step closer to an outright SEC championship with Saturday's 86-83 win against Arkansas here in Tuscaloosa. Fans in the stands look great wearing white. Now we ask that you please wear crimson coming up this Wednesday as Alabama hosts Auburn at 6 p.m. A win will clinch the outright regular season championship, a second in the last 3 years for Alabama. We'll be talking with head coach Nate Oats in the second half hour of our show tonight as we get ready for Auburn on Wednesday before the road trip to Texas A&M on Saturday. In the first part of our show, we'll be thrilled to be welcoming our rowing coach for the University of Alabama, Glenn Putyrae, to discuss the start of the spring rowing season. Just saw the Crimson Tide post good results with a scrimmage at Clemson, and we'll preview what's ahead Saturday morning in Tuscaloosa against Eastern Michigan. Fans, I want to remind you can keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Glenn Putyrae joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
You can trust your car to the place with the star to get you to the things you love or travel near and far. With Texaco at your side, life can be a lovely ride. So trust your car to the Texaco star.
When you fill up with Texaco with Techron, you get unbeatable mileage to help make your adventures bigger than ever. Download the Texaco app to find a station near you.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the Ferguson Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
They still thinking they're going to be in.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious, is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. This is Roger Hoover. Great to be back with you at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Now joined by the rowing coach for the University of Alabama, Glenn Putyrae. Roll Tide, Coach.
Roll Tide, Roger. Thanks.
It is good to have you here in the building tonight, as we've got some fans ready to go for Alabama rowing to be back at home. We know you've been building towards this weekend against Eastern Michigan. Just what the last few weeks been like for you and the Crimson Tide?
A lot of training. You know, we spent a lot of time on the water trying to get the fitness we need to be fast in May, and it's a long process. It takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of hard work. We know a ton of people see us coming across the bridge every morning, and not every morning is warm.
Yes.
Sometimes it's wet and windy and nasty, but we're still out there.
Rowing weather, right?
Got to get the job done. We're a water sport.
Definitely so. We look forward to the Crimson Tide again being home this weekend against Eastern Michigan. Let's go back a few steps to the fall. What did you learn about your team in the fall?
We're a young team. We have 4 seniors and 2 grad students, so we're going to be recognizing the 6 people on our team this Saturday. It's our senior day. And we have a lot of young, energetic, you know how you got some seasoned veterans, but the young kids really bring energy to the group. And this group of freshmen has been, I think, great for everybody, because they're just giving everybody this sense of just a sense of positive energy that, every team needs.
That's certainly good to see. And you look back to the fall, you had 5 top 5 finishes, first place in the women's collegiate 8+. So what led to those good results?
It's not a hard sport to learn. It's a really hard sport to be good at, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of repetition, and it's they're just doing the work and trusting us as coaches. And I got a couple new staff members, and everybody's just been really positive in giving us an opportunity to lead them, and then they're taking our example and putting it into practice, and they're seeing results. So everybody's in a good mood.
That's really good to hear. Who are the new coaches that are on your staff?
We have Katie Bitts, who comes to us from Michigan State and Indiana University, and then Kelly Kreis, who comes to us from Rutgers University.
What have they brought to this team?
Experience, maturity. They're really strong in what they do as people, but also really strong in their coaching skills. And I think they're great at communicating with the athletes, which is really important. I think these days, it's just communication is so important.
I know they're enjoying being in Tuscaloosa. I know you enjoyed being here as well with the head of the Black Warrior River back in the fall. That was the fall meet. We closed out the season with the home regatta. It was also Power of Pink. What did you like about your performance that day?
Again, I think our strength is our energy and our depth, so to get there. The fun part about the head of the Black Warrior was to have so many teams come race us here at home. I mean, we had Oklahoma, Miami, Louisville, Clemson, to have these programs coming from, pretty much all over the place and racing on the Black Warrior in the river in the fall is awesome, because we don't have a lot of people come race us. It's not an easy place to race in the spring.
Definitely not, and we look forward to seeing the Crimson Tide again at Manderson Landing coming up on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. against Eastern Michigan. Just what makes it special for you guys to host an event, whether it is the head of the Black Warrior River or what's coming up this weekend?
For us, our venue is so perfect for people being able to see what's happening out there. You can see the start all the way to the finish, and Manderson Landing it's a natural venue. You can get down there. We're going to have a bounce house there for kids, and they put up the cornhole, and they make it fun, because, rowing is an outdoor sport. There's no admission. You show up, you watch the boats go by, and then you can, grab a cup of coffee and go back down to the farmer's market and see what's left.
That definitely sounds like a good plan. For fans who are coming, when does everything start? We know 9 a.m. is the official start time on RollTide.com, but what will they see when they go?
So first race is supposed to start at 9. We should probably be finished with the racing around 9:30, and then we'll recognize our seniors around 10:15. So you want to get there about 8:30 so you can see the teams getting ready to go and spend a little time, have a donut, cup of coffee, play around for a little bit, and then the racing comes by, you cheer on the Tide, and might shoot some T-shirts into the crowd. You never know. We'll do what we can to keep everybody engaged, but it's an efficient event.
That's really good to see. So we look forward to Alabama against Eastern Michigan coming up this Saturday. This past Saturday, you guys were on the road, had a scrimmage against Clemson, and that was the start of the spring. What did you like about your time in South Carolina?
Well, we like the opportunity to see where everybody is and then test different combinations of rowers, because there's a lot of things you see in a competition that you can't see in practice. Some athletes are what they used to call gamers. I don't know if they still call them that or not, but people that are a different side of them shows up in competition, and we want to find out who those people are, because those are the ones we want to put our trust behind when we send them down the starting line at the end of the season. So
you felt like you learned that this past Saturday?
I think we learned some stuff. I mean, it's the end of February, and we got to be ready in middle of May. So we got 8 weeks still to figure all this stuff out. 9 weeks. So.
Long journey ahead. We're going to be talking about that with Coach Putyrae when we come back in just a moment. We're with you live tonight at Baumhower's, where you can celebrate Mardi Gras. Enjoy a Cajun-style meal for a limited time for their new Mardi Gras menu. Join the Mardi Gras party at Baumhower's today. Baumhower's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food. You're listening to Hey Coach. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear, because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground, because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously, and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature. DiscoverTheForest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. We're with you live at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Roger Hoover visiting with Glenn Putyrae, the rowing coach for the University of Alabama, as we continue getting ready for the upcoming regatta against Eastern Michigan, 9 a.m. on Saturday morning down at Manderson Landing. We look forward to that, as it will be Senior Day. And you mentioned this has been a really special senior group. Who were some of the standouts in the senior class for you?
Well, I mean, they're all standouts. The grad students who are in their fifth year, COVID gave a lot of athletes an additional year of competition. So we have Gianna Rucky and Saskia Damersmith. Saskia is from Australia and transferred here from Minnesota. And Gianna's one of those athletes that we have that didn't row at all before she got to UA. And we've taught her everything she knows, and she's probably one of the best rowers on our team, after 5 years of hard work and coaching. And then we have other seniors are Emma Ewell, Blythe Markell, one of our captains. I knew I was going to forget, but that's all right. Kristen Rupanen and Rachel Tullis are our seniors this year.
Very good. And you mentioned the process of working with a student athlete who has never rowed before until they come to you guys here in Tuscaloosa. What is that process like about their introduction into rowing? What are the first steps?
Well, usually the first step is showing up to the first meeting. And then Katie, my assistant coach, will take them through a tryout period where they'll do things like run and show that they have the endurance and the toughness to be rowers. You have to have a certain mentality to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and 6 days a week and show up at the boathouse and be in the cold and be there consistently, and so we got to figure out who those people are, and then once we find them, we just teach them what they need to know.
That's very good. And, of course, we're looking forward to seeing this senior class compete for the Crimson Tide against Eastern Michigan. And you mentioned as well some good leadership from the senior group. How about some of the fun personalities? Who makes things fun in the boathouse for all of you guys?
Oh, man. Gosh, that is a good question. I feel like us coaches do our best to bring good energy every morning, but they're all I think that we have a team that can identify what their teammates need and try and provide it for the group when it's needed. I know that sounds very obscure, but the reality is that when you're really early in the morning, sometimes you need somebody that's going to tell a good joke, and other times you need someone that's going to make things, like let's get going, let's get serious. And they've done a really nice job this year filling those roles as needed. And one of the things that I like about them is that there's not one person that does it for everybody. They've done a really nice job of working together to find that balance, because not every day is a good day, and everybody needs to pick me up every once in a while. And when you have 72 people showing up at a boathouse in the dark, you don't really know what you're going to get until you actually get there.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that was the same way for you guys at Clemson this past weekend. We talked about it before. Some good weather when you guys first arrived, but then it was back to, let's say, rowing season weather to begin the spring schedule for you this past Saturday morning.
Yeah, we all know what it's like here, right? You get a taste of spring, summer, and then, next thing you know, it's raining and 40 degrees. So that was Clemson this weekend. It was sunny and very little wind on Friday. Everybody got sunburns, and then we showed up on Saturday morning and it was under 50 degrees, and we just wish we had packed more clothes. That's just how it works.
There you go. We talked about the seniors. How about the freshmen? How are they acclimating to what you want for them this spring?
The nice thing about the freshmen is that they've brought a buy-in to what we want to do, and they're actually trusting us from the get-go, and usually trust is something that takes a lot of time to develop, but fortunately for us, this group of freshmen gave us their trust to start, and we've just done our best not to lose that trust over the course of the season. Just keep building. Hey, we're here for you. This is what we said we were going to try and do when we recruited you. Now you're here. What can we do to help you be who you want to be?
And, of course, these freshmen one day will have what's coming up on Saturday, a senior day. Does it ever blow your mind, like, how quickly senior day comes from when you're able to first meet some of these student athletes to what we're going to celebrate on Saturday? I imagine it's emotional for you.
It is. Well, the last 4 years have been really challenging, I think, for everybody. These seniors were sophomores when their season was canceled, and then they came back, and I think for a lot of them, they're demonstrated a level of resiliency that in a lot of their, I mean, it's a small class for us, and a lot of that is because these kids are more resilient than the other members of the team that chose to go a different direction for one reason or another, and because of that, we have a ton of respect for them.
Absolutely, as you should, and always we see some great results in the classroom from your team. Any academic standouts over the last few weeks? And I know the good grades are still to come for so many of them, but it seems like, again, every year you and I talk, you're very proud of the performance on the water, but especially in the classroom.
I know, and I wish I prepared my stats, you know, for the number of 4.0s we have, and they are student athletes. We have a lot of people on our team that are receiving athletic money to row, but we have a lot of people on our team that are rowing just to be student athletes. And, you know, when you are choosing to do something like be a Division I athlete and be a good student, I think, again, it takes something special to put yourself through all the stuff that it takes to compete at this level and do well in school.
Absolutely. We look forward to talking about what's coming up for the rowing team coming up in just a few moments. Before we head to break, I do want to remind you that the Everwood Performance of the Week this week goes to Alabama softball head coach Patrick Murphy, who earned his 1,200th career victory this past week against Sanford at Rhodes Stadium. Murphy becomes the 9th head coach in NCAA history to earn 1,200 wins at one Division I program and is the only coach with over 1,000 wins entirely at an SEC institution. Congratulations to Coach Murphy and the Bama softball program for hitting this historic milestone. That is your Everwood Performance of the Week, brought to you by Everwood, wood treated right. If you'd like to ask Coach a question tonight, give us a call on the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline at 877-202-BAMA. Back with more Hey Coach in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We've all been caught up in the little chores that pile up every day. The dishes in the sink, the trash that needs taking out, the pesky check engine light.
Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system, who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
When time matters most, you go with what's tried and true. That's tried and true John Deere equipment and Tri-Green service. Tough chores don't stand a chance with a John Deere 4044M tractor. And right now you can get one with 0% financing. With a 43 horsepower engine, power reverser transmission, and a 10-year powertrain warranty, this John Deere helps you work with confidence day after day. So stop by one of our 29 Alabama and Tennessee locations or visit us online at TriGreenEquipment.com.
Offer ends January 31, 2023. 0% APR for 60 months, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Andrew, an employee at BASF in Alabama. As a chemical operator, I enjoy working at BASF because I'm allowed to grow and show my potential. Everyone is like family. I actually like coming to work, and safety is the ultimate goal. At BASF, we create chemistry around the world through our people and our products. To join a winning team and a great place to work, visit basf.us/Alabama. That's basf.us/Alabama. BASF, we create chemistry.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home. You can stay in comfort. Enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 bar and restaurant. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. We're continuing our conversation with rowing head coach Glenn Putyrae, and now you have this meet coming up against Eastern Michigan coming up on Saturday morning. But what's next? What's after that for the Crimson Tide?
Well, I mean, then we get into the meat of it. You know, we're going to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where we'll race at least 9 different schools there. Then we go to, we have our duel with Tennessee, which is a big race for us. Obviously, the 2 SEC schools going at it. Soon to be 4. Yeah, just used to be 2 of us. And then we got Oklahoma and Texas coming in sooner than we thought initially. And then we're off to Sarasota, Florida for a big event. And then prior to championship, we cap it off in North Carolina. But each one of these events, we're going to have 15 to 20 different universities competing.
That's really exciting. How do you try to build from event to event to make sure you continue getting better towards the Big 12 championships and then ultimately NCAAs?
It's a lot of training. We basically spend all our time trying to get fit for the last week of the season. And it's a lot of miles, it's a lot of strokes, and it's as we move people around, we're still trying to see like who really, wants it. You got that, they say you got those that want to, those that feel like they have to, and those that get to. And we want the ones that want to because they're the ones that are going to race the hardest on race day.
With all that training in mind, how do you make sure everyone's ready to go when the time comes on a Saturday? What's the mental preparation like for your student athletes getting ready for these regattas?
A lot of repetition. We talk a lot about how we want to make every day like the last day of the season. So it's, doing the same thing every single day so that when we get to our last race, nothing seems foreign or unpracticed. So it is literally the same thing with certain variations every single day so that when we get to the last day of the season, nothing seems anything other than what they know. They know what they're going to do. They don't have to think about it anymore.
What's your style on days like that? Are you giving them a really fired up motivational pep talk, or you stay calm? How does everything go for you?
Depends on the race and where we are in the season. I'm not a big fire and brimstone pre-race person. The unique thing, one of the unique things about our sport is that we're not out there with them. So me getting them all wound up and sending them off to the starting line doesn't always work well. Sometimes it'll backfire. And I can't rein them back in if I wound them up too much, and I can't call a timeout if they need, talking to. They have to be, self-regulating.
What excites you the most about this team?
How much they've grown, and how much further they can grow. They're nowhere near being. Most of them are at the best they've been, but they're not even close to the best they can be. And so we have a real opportunity to see how far they can get in 1 year, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I imagine it is exciting at this time of the year, too, knowing you can continue to build result upon result and keep getting closer, because ultimately it is about making it back to the NCAA championships. What are some of the steps you have to take in order to get that bid later on in the year?
We just got to keep getting faster. We can't let our foot off the gas until we get to the last race of the season, and then we have to have our best race on that. And 14th of May. The 14th of May, we get one shot down the race course, and it has to be our best.
You have to continue training and getting us set for what's coming up, as again the Crimson Tide will be home against Eastern Michigan Saturday morning with the home regatta starting at 9 a.m. at Manderson Landing, and then Lake Wheeler Invitational from April 21st to the 22nd, Big Ten Invitational the 7th through the 8th. So it's really exciting. And then again, Big 12 championships on May 14th, and then we're hoping for a very long run after that. You've got to be excited for this group.
I am.
Well, Coach Putyrae, we really enjoyed having you here tonight. Just thank you so much for your insights, and we look forward to cheering on your rowing team starting this Saturday. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thanks, Roger.
That's our thanks to Glenn Putyrae, the rowing coach for the University of Alabama, for joining us here tonight on Hey Coach. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to find a local agent. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. We'll continue with more in just a moment as Nate Oats joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
At
Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy. With only simple ingredients, water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar. Or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect, not easy.
Here at Payless Drugs, we continue to be just what the doctor ordered. We know getting the medicine you need is especially important during these unique times. And for your safety and convenience, we offer a drive-through at every location. Plus, we have prescription delivery and contactless pickup at all locations. Now's the time to take care of your immunization needs. Stop by any of our convenient locations today.
Just what the doctor ordered.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Quinterly now down the lane. Quinterly now back out. Miller catch and shoot three. And the lid came off. Our second bank burst three of the day. 75-63 Bama. That refreshing Bama highlight is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, brewed locally in Alabama and served to fans across the Southeast. We're glad to welcome you back to Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover, now joined by the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nate Oats.
Thanks, Roger.
Roll Tide.
Appreciate it. Roll Tide. Thank you.
Well, we're certainly glad to see you tonight as the Crimson Tide picks up an 86-83 win against Arkansas. You trailed at halftime 37-28. What was the message to your team at halftime that led to some very good results in the second half?
I mean, thought we had to pick it up. We had to get a little more aggressive on offense. We needed to do a better job finishing at the rim. You know, I didn't think defense was necessarily a problem. Our offense was just stagnant. And I think, you know, Quinterly helped us a lot. He played great for us in the second half. But you know, we got some stops, got some runouts, started the second half with a little bit more energy. Our defense led to some offense, and we kind of were able to flip it there. I think we went from down 12 to up 12 at one point in the game, if I remember correctly. So we were down 11, I believe, towards the end of the first half, and then down 9 at the half. But then if we could have closed it a little better when we had the 12-point lead. We didn't close quite as bad as Michigan State did when they lost to Iowa, but we showed our players that. We didn't do a very good job closing the last minute and a half, but we were able to get the win, so we got to do a better job closing when we've got a lead late in the game.
Crimson Tide again winners 86-83 on Saturday against Arkansas at home in Tuscaloosa. Right now we'll go to the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline where Pee Wee joins us from Grand Bay, Alabama. Tonight's first question always brought to you by Alabama 811. Always contact 811 before you dig to know what's below. Call 811 or visit al811.com. Again, we're going down to Grand Bay, Alabama where Pee Wee joins us now. Roll Tide, Pee Wee.
Roll Tide, Roger. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing all right. Thanks, Pee Wee.
Hey, Coach, what I wanted to ask about, we had another tough game against Arkansas where they applied a lot of ball pressure, tried to deny the three to us. And my question is when that happens, you took Brandon and put him as a ball screener, which opened up Quinterly or either Mark Sears, whoever the point guard was at that time, to get some rim action. I was just wondering, would that be something that we would do earlier against Auburn since they played a lot of ball pressure the last time we played them?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we talk about, using Brandon as a screener. It's a little bit easier to do it with Quinterly and Sears because they actually do get in and pressure those guys because they can shoot. Some teams sag Jaden Bradley a little bit and just try to go under those screens. We got to do a better job helping him out, getting the angles better when they try to do that. But it makes it a little harder to do it for Jaden. But, Jaden does better when he's got smaller guards on him. He can kind of overpower him. He's tough, physical, strong. Arkansas's guards were a little bigger, longer. They had some physical guards that could match up with them a little better. Depending on who Auburn decides to put on them, there's definitely some smaller guards Auburn plays that, I think Jaden can do all right with. Now, the smaller guards, if they don't put them on Jaden, they're going to have to put them on somebody that I think we can kind of make them pay for. But their smaller guards are also really good on offense. They're super talented. So we'll see what they do. Jaden's got to do a better job getting his bigs kind of lined up to get the angles better with the screens. But using Brandon as a screener when teams won't switch him, some teams just, like Auburn, they'll put Flanagan on him or Jalen Williams, and they just won't switch, period, and deny him everywhere. Or then it's, kind of easier to set him up, use him as a screener, use him as a ball screener, use him as an off-ball screener to try to get teammates open, on different plays. So we've gone to that more, using it earlier. Yeah, we probably could use it, should use it earlier. Kind of sometimes he gets loose and teams won't deny as hard, after the first 4 minutes. They got a great, tough game plan early, and then it kind of softens up a little. But I'm sure Auburn will come out trying to deny him the ball.
Thank you for the call, Pee Wee. Yes, 86 points for the Crimson Tide in this last win against Arkansas, and you scored 58 points in the second half. Only made 2 3-pointers in the second half, 3 for the game. So when you went back and watched the film, did you like some of the shots your team was taking? I know you want your team aggressive from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think we took too many bad ones. I mean, shooting Amari's a really good shooter. He got some great looks. I thought the first one he had, I thought was down. He's making them all in practice today. And Sears probably rushed a couple there in the second half, to be honest with you. He had the one, we made a joke with him. He had a great pass to Ryland on the one there. But we got to get Sears going a little earlier, I think. But I didn't think our shot selection was terrible. We just missed some open shots. I mean, we got to make open shots. We got to have some shooters step up and make some shots. So, it was good to see Dom. Dom was the only one that made one till late. I think Brandon hit one, and then Quinterly hit a big one late. I was really happy to see Quinterly hit the one late because, he played well. It was kind of helped seal that win. Didn't totally seal it, but it certainly, I think they cut it to 5 at that point. We came back down and built it to 8. So, we're going to take open shots. If you're a shooter and you're open, you're shooting in our offense, period. I don't care if you're 0 for 10 at the time. Like, if you're open and you're a shooter, you're taking the shot. So we'll get them in the gym, work on it. I thought we did a pretty good job making shots in practice today. We'll have another good day in practice tomorrow and be ready to go on Wednesday.
Speaking of Javon Quinterly, who had 16 points for you, again, 7 assists really created for his teammates. How good is that to see at this point of the season, knowing how big the basketball is from here on out?
No, it's huge. I mean, we need JQ playing his best basketball for us. 2 years ago when we won the SEC tournament and the regular season, He played great for us in March, got the SEC tournament MVP, could really score and get downhill. I think he had all of his confidence back on Saturday. We need it. It gives us another dimension. I mean, it really gives us 3 distinct point guards. Him and JB are definitely different. They can play together because Quinterly can really shoot. JB can guard bigger guards. Sears is more a scorer shooter than a point guard, but he's definitely a capable point guard because he can make reads and he can really shoot. Teams really got to get up in him. You can't go under a ball screen on him. So it's great to have him playing well. I think he creates, the numbers say that, like Brandon's points per shot are much higher when Quinterly's on the floor because he does create better offense for him. They got to help a little bit more. He gets loosened up like that. So as long as Quinterly's defense is good, and it was pretty good on Saturday, if his offense keeps going like this, his minutes are going to increase.
Before we close the book on Arkansas after the ball game is over, Senior Day, Dom Welch, Noah Grille, Adam Cottrell, all honored. What was it like having their families in town, giving them the recognition they deserve in front of our Coleman Coliseum crowd? Yeah, it was great. I mean, Cottrell's been an unbelievable kid. Anybody that knows him knows, he's as good a kid as we've had in the program. Straight A student. He's here on an academic scholarship. He's a high character kid. He's been a voice in the locker room with us for 4 years. And then Noah Grille has been an unbelievable leader for us. He's helped us win big games here in his 2 years with us. His leadership's a big reason why we're as good as we are this year. And he's made some big shots and big plays for us different times throughout the year. And then Dom Welch, hasn't played as much. He hit a big 3 for us. He played well in the first half against Arkansas. That injury kind of hampered his 1 year with us. But they're all great kids. They've all contributed a lot. And it's nice to be able to honor them. We kind of switched up the Senior Day to be the last home weekend game. So it'll be nice. They'll get their last actual real home game on Wednesday against Auburn. Obviously, a big rival game. So kind of hopefully everybody can give those 3 a send-off, even though it won't be an official Senior Day on Wednesday. Hopefully, the crowd can recognize the 3 of those guys for all the work that they put into the program on Wednesday as well. How about your managers, Perkins Carden, Logan Ingram? They're both pretty good, really good, actually. Perkins is kind of assistant ops, really. He's done a great job. He helps with everything around the program, and Logan wants to be a coach, and he's dove into all this stuff. He's kind of done the Bamalytics team. They kind of the analytics crew and the video crew calls themselves Bamalytics, and he's right in the middle of all that. That's got to be your favorite crew, right? They're good, man. I like them. All the numbers they give me, I look at. And when they don't have it, I'm like, guys, where's it at? You got an analytics box. I see you in the huddle with that with the blue collar points. Yeah, it's not just that. It's the other stuff. But they at halftime, they've got a Bamalytics. It's kind of an analytics box score. I'm like, where is it? I need to see it. So he's right in the middle of all that. He's an Arkansas kid, too. So it's great that we beat Arkansas on his Senior Day because he's from the state of Arkansas. So we got a really good crew of managers. Those are the 2 senior ones we've got, and they've done a great job for us ever since I got here. Special part of the program. We'll continue with more with Coach Oats coming up in a moment as we continue to preview Alabama against Auburn on Wednesday. You're listening to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Hi,
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
All right, everyone, let's hit the road.
Mom, who's this?
Oh, that's Michelle. She's our Alpha agent. She helped me file that auto claim fast after that accident last week, so I figured we'd bring her with us.
Breakfast burrito?
All right, 200 miles before we stop. I hope you've all used the bathroom. Michelle, you good?
Before a little thing becomes a big thing, call your Alpha agent.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge of your seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you embrace the infinite life.
Member FDIC.
Yellowhammer Brewing is proud to sponsor the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellowhammer Brewing has been crafting fine beers for the state of Alabama for 12 years running. Their beers include a variety of classic styles, including their latest release, Yellowhammer Gold, a light, easy-drinking American lager. These guys are local and doing great things for their community. You can find their beers at grocery stores, restaurants, and craft beer shops throughout the state. Check them out at yellowhammerbrewing.com. Make your next pint of Yellowhammer and roll Tide.
Now to Clowney on the drive, the kick into the corner. JQ, 3, so stinking good today is Javon Quinterly. Huge make, the third, bank first 3 of the day for the Tide. Bama by 8. Certainly love the performance of Javon Quinterly for the Crimson Tide with 16.7 assists, part of the 3-point win against Arkansas on Saturday. Our visit with Nate Oats is presented by CB&S Bank. You can bank anywhere at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. We're back to be live at Baumhower's. Roger Hoover with Coach Oats, and now get the Auburn Tigers. Home finale coming up on Wednesday. You mentioned practice earlier today. How's the energy around your basketball team gearing up for Wednesday?
I think it's good. I think our guys are focused. I mean, they realize it's a rivalry game. We haven't played great the last 2 games. I mean, offensively, we picked it up in the second half against Arkansas. We didn't close that game well. Offensively, we were bad in the first half. You know, we were really good defensively for about 36 minutes. The last 4 minutes of the game, we weren't great against Arkansas. Obviously, down at South Carolina wasn't one of our better games. So I feel like we're due for a good game. I feel like we got some guys that have played poorly personally for the last 2 and are kind of hungry to play well. So I think we saw that in practice today. So I think some guys are ready to go, kind of combine the fact that they haven't played great in a couple straight games, and we've got Auburn coming, who's obviously a rivalry game. I like the energy. I think we'll have a good practice tomorrow and be ready to go on Wednesday.
Last time these teams played, Alabama picks up a 77-69 win down on the Plains. What stands out to you from that game?
You know what? One is Auburn's a good team, okay? It was not an easy win at all. 2 is we got to figure out a better way to guard Wendell Green because he torched us. Okay, Jalen Williams did a good job against us too. He played well. You know, we've got to do a better job offensively against them. We got to have a better plan. I didn't feel like we as a coaching staff had a good enough plan to go against what they were going to do. Now they mix up what they do. You know, they change up their ball screen coverages some. They, you know, sometimes they switch, sometimes they don't. They got a lot of more in-game adjustments, or game-to-game, I should say, adjustments maybe. You know, we do some, but I think we've got like a kind of a really strong base, and we're going to be good at this, and this is what we do. They change stuff up. So when you change stuff up game to game, sometimes you're not as good at all the individually, but it makes it harder to game plan for it as well. So I think we got to do a better job figuring out what they're doing, and they also change stuff in game. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit more of a chess match because they, you know, I think we've got a pretty talented group, and they've got some really talented guys. Katie Johnson's playing a lot better right now than he was then. You know, he's shooting the ball way, way better in these last 5 games. So we're going to have to pay attention to him a little bit more, a lot more actually. So they're going to come ready to play too. I mean, they're hungry for a win. They're fighting for NCAA tournament seeding, as are we, and we're trying to get a SEC championship outright. And if we beat them, we clinch it outright. It'd be great to do that in front of our home crowd.
How much have you enjoyed coaching in this rivalry? Obviously, when you first got the Alabama job, I'm sure a lot of people came up to you and said, just beat Auburn, please, beat Auburn. You know, that kind of football mentality as well. You got to experience that even before you coached against Auburn and got a huge win. It was one of your early SEC victories here back in 2020. Just how much has this rivalry meant to you getting coaching it?
Yeah, I mean, they were coming off a Final Four. You know, when I got hired, the NCAA tournament wasn't over yet. They, you know, we got beat in the second round that year when I was at Buffalo. That was, I believe, when Texas Tech, that was when Texas Tech beat us and they went to the championship game that year. That was when Auburn was in the Final Four. So I got hired, and then Auburn continued to make their run. They had a really good year that year. They go to the Final Four. You're right. Everybody says, you know, beat Auburn. All right, I get it. That's kind of a rival game. It's an important one. They were do you remember what they were ranked when they came to town my first year?
It's either 2 or 3. I mean, it was top 5.
They were top 5
undefeated.
for sure, and they were undefeated. They were trending towards number 1, and we got them, and we were not as good that year. So, kind of let our players knew the rivalry. We had a lot of guys that had been here. We had a lot of guys from the state. Herb Jones is from Alabama, Petty was from Alabama, Alex Reese from Alabama. Kyra Lewis from Alabama. We had a decent amount of kids from Alabama that understood the rivalry and had played in that game previously. So that was a huge win, probably our one big signature win that first year. In year 2, we swept them. They, we were really good that year. That was COVID. It would have been nice to sweep them with full house everywhere, but it wasn't. Then last year they swept us. I mean, they had a good team. They're really talented. This year, we've only played once so far, so. It's what Bruce told me, in year 2, and he's right. It's good for basketball in the state of Alabama that both teams are really good. Like this game has always been a big rivalry game inside the state of Alabama. It's now a big game across the country. Like when Auburn plays Alabama, it's got national meaning now. Both teams typically are ranked, in the top 25. I'm not sure what the rankings are today, to be honest with you, but we're competing for SEC championships. It has meaning outside of just the Alabama-Auburn rivalry, like it had. It's always had meaning within the state of Alabama. Now it's got national meaning, and it's a big deal. So, and that's the case here again. I mean, this is a big deal. We're ranked number 2. They're a really good team. They're fighting for NCAA tournament seeding. So, people across the country watch the Alabama-Auburn game every time it's played now, and that's a big deal.
Coach, good luck against Auburn coming up on Wednesday here at home in Tuscaloosa, in the home finale, and then later in the week against Texas A&M. Just thank you for your time tonight. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Appreciate it, Roger.
That's the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nate Oats. We appreciate his time with us tonight on Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also have to say a special thank you to Onward Reserve, the official apparel provider of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, for all the great gear this season. Visit onwardreserve.com for all of your golf and game day apparel. Live authentically with Onward Reserve. Back to wrap up this edition of Hey Coach when we return in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
tablet
with the My Trustmark app. Our
Trust, advice that works. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At My Eye Doctor, we would never think of getting between you and your screen, except with blue light lenses. Eye strain can happen by spending hours and hours with devices, texting, gaming, binging. Our lens solutions can help minimize the stress and strain of harmful blue light. We welcome all insurances. Eye care and eyewear are better together at My Eye Doctor, Doctors of Optometry. Schedule an appointment today at myeyedr.com.
What widens the eyes, tightens the stomach, and flutters the heart. Adrenaline. Feel it for yourself in the Toyota RAV4, Camry, Corolla, and Tacoma. Get 2.9% APR for 36 months on a new 2023 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through February 28, 2023. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.04 monthly payment up to $1,000 finance. Excludes tax tag, registration, title, and DOT. See dealer for details.
What's on tap next for Bama is presented by Bud Light. Bud Light is a proud sponsor of Alabama Athletics. Roll Tide with Bud Light. Well, we have a busy week coming up on the network. Starting tomorrow as baseball will be at home against Jacksonville State. Moved a day early to try and avoid the weather. That's coming up at 3 p.m. Wednesday, the Auburn game, 6 p.m., 5 p.m. airtime. Women's basketball will be at the SEC tournament. And then coming up on Saturday, men's basketball at A&M. That's going to do it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. We'd like to say a good night from Baumhower Victory Grille. We thank Tom Stipe, Ethan Carabin, Austin Wolkin back at our studios, along with Glenn Putyrae and Nate Oats. I'm Roger Hoover saying thank you for listening. Good night and roll tide.
Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Hey